video for. Okay, so guess what? We got to prepare for leadership because we can't lead the world without consciousness. And they try to keep Hebrew Israelite people in America. Oh my God. They try to keep us on a different planet, on not planet, but different channel, a different frequency, while the world is looking at what's going on with the revelation and the economy and the end of the 50,000 celestial year cycle. Many Hebrew Israelites, foundational Americans, of my community, a lot of them are looking at that, but they trying to get us on the channel of P. Diddy and the homosexuality of Will Smith and I mean all the things that that the underbelly of a snake crawls upon. All the shit, the excrement that the underbelly of a snake crawls upon, they try to get Hebrew Israelite people to focus on that. Why? Because person manifests what they focus on. So they come up with something new every day, every freaking day. Oh, P. Diddy did this one, P. Diddy did, and he did poor little Justin Bieber. Oh, how could they do that? That should have just outraged the white community. This big black nigga had his thing in this poor little helpless innocent child's backside. P. Diddy is the diddler. The diddler that done everybody. The diddler that did everybody in. That's supposed to be P. Diddy. And black people are supposed to be laughing and heckling it up with that. Oh, what's the next person they're going to come out with P. Diddy did? I'm going to tell you straight the fucking truth. I don't give a fuck what P. Diddy did. P. Diddy did it. P. Diddy is a victim of the circumstance and the culture that's pervasive among the aristocrats. Shit. Really? But they done forgot about Epstein and what's his name? Ed Buck, and all the elite aristocrats of America that associated with Epstein and all that. What you call it? Diddy ain't done nothing compared to what they done. The diddler ain't done nothing compared to what they done. Now, I ain't saying what the diddler, whether he did or not, Allahu Alam, I don't know. Alhamdulillah, I wasn't there. But my point being, and even if they practice some of that homosexuality, really, that's a Western thing. Really? That's an aristocratic thing. He was only imitating his peers. And his peers don't look like, his aristocratic peers don't look like me. Where do you think he learned it? Not in grade school, what they trying to teach now. So don't go trying to make the diddler the face of homosexuality. No, he's just not. He's just not. And Hebrew Israelite People Foundation of America, don't focus on that shit. Next time they hand you another R. Kelly bullshit. What's his name? What's the other one's name? Bill Cosby bullshit. Turn that shit off and focus on something real. Reparations. Education. Spirituality. Community. Family. Empowerment. Wealth. Generational wealth. Love of your black woman and black man, or whoever else you decide. You decide, not society decides for you to procreate with or to love, whether they be European, Asian, or whatever. Marry for culture. Don't marry for color. Marry for culture. If you like the Asian culture, by all means, enjoy with an Asian woman. The culture is beautiful. But I'm just going to marry an Asian woman because it makes me feel better, because I don't have to look at myself. It makes me feel elevated. That's some bullshit. No, marry for culture, But anyway, and you got beautiful culture. You got the best culture. The culture, all cultures, you got the culture all other cultures are built upon. So there's nothing better than you. Honestly, there's nothing better than you. Okay, so anyway, so I forgot how I got there again. We done went so far off talking. And I just want to say, because I'm looking at my phone as well, because this is where I'm getting my information from. I just saw PDJT's photo pop up, and it was like, Allah show favor on him. He works so hard, so hard. MAGA, pray for him. Pray for PDJT. Pray for him. Allah show him great favor. Allah give him strength. Allah give him barakah. Allah give him love. He has Melania, alhamdulillah, but I mean divine love. And what I mean from Allah himself. Give PDJT, strength and more courage and divine love, because he works so hard for America. Allah knows he works so hard and he's been up against so much. So please pray for PDJT. I know I do. I pray for him very, very much. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show him great favor and allowing him to become President 47. That is what I pray for. MashaAllah. And Allah, alhamdulillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for what he's done his first time as president. He really, really helped America. He helped get us to where we are today. Had there not been a PDJT, only Allah knows what the world would have been like. And he stood very strong and very determined to save America. And then by saving his will to save America, he was saving the global humanity. So for all those who don't know the value of PDJT, then I would think you don't know the value of what he's done. He said, mashallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the help of Allah and those who he inspires and those who inspire him, and MAGA as well. And I know probably MAGA may have some, culturally racist, some. But guess what? What the majority of MAGA done was aided in saving the world too. So viva la MAGA. All right, anyway, now we're going to get back to where we're going. So, it's not racist what I'm saying. If you like the European culture, marry the European culture. I love the European culture too. I really do. Especially my favorite European culture are the Irish. And some may say that's the most racist. No, I like the Irish music. I like the Irish dancing. I like the landscape. And I also like Iceland. Oh my God. Iceland is so, so beautiful. So my two favorite places in Europe would be Iceland and Ireland, because I like the crisp, fresh air, and the mountains and the trees, and I like the nature, and it just seems so, so serene. That's what I love. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, before I went so far off, okay, so Christianity wanted to be the world church, right? And it's so I feel so sad for me saying this, but it's got to be said. It's really got to be said. Europeans, you've been duped too. You really have. You want the best spirituality for yourself, go to Islam. It's beautiful, trust and believe. And it's where you're supposed to be, right? Okay. Now, anyway, so now, okay, so that's where we were. Okay, so when they took the Hebrew Israelites, when they expelled them from Europe, from Iberia, right, and took over Iberia and made it Spain and all this kind of stuff, right? They were usurped. That was the plan. They started all the way back 400 years ago with this plan. This was a 400-year plan, right? And it had to be even before 400 years, right? Okay, so Agenda 21 is not new. Agenda 30 is not new. And Agenda 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, whatever, would not be new. This is their plan to take over the whole world, because it's the plan of Iblis, right? The plan of Shaitan, okay? Because it's a diabolical plan, okay? A diabolical plan of the aristocratic Western elites, hell-bent on disassociating and robbing the DMT, melanin, richly black Hebrew Israelite Jews and Muslims of their ancestral cultural their cultural, divine, spiritual legacy as nappy hairs or heirs to the ancestral throne, and spiritual crown of Prophet Abraham alayhi salam. The jinn-filled, demonic, spiritually inbred, low-bred Neanderthal, DMT 666, DMT lacking, or negative D 666, right? DMT lacking, mutant, bloody, and as I said, they're bloody because they're always warmongering in search of DMT. That's why they do a lot of killing of human sacrificing in the among the Hebrew, under the Afro-Kemetic nations, right, all across the world, whether they be Asians, whether they be Mexicans, whether they be not go Mexico, whether they be Asians, whether they be Latin Americans, whether it be Central Americans, whether they be South Americans, right? If I didn't say that already, whether they be a native, of this Turtle Island, whether they be in Alkibu land, whether they be Arabs, whether they, whoever, they want that DMT. They want to suppress it, right? Okay, or they want to eat it, right, as cannibals, right? Now, so they are bloodthirsty warmongers, antichrist, and the same as Dajjal, Khazarian, Ukrainian, SS Nazis, right? And they also sought to sow division between Muslims and Jews. They want to sow division between the Muslims and Jews, the brotherhood family of Abraham, because Abraham had two sons, Ishmael from Hajar, Isaac from Sarah. Those born from Sarah are known as the Saracens, right? Those born from and the Saracens were the Judeans, right? The Jews, Hebrew Israelites. Those born of Hajar and Prophet Abraham are the is where Ishmael comes from, and also the line of Prophet Muhammad, the lineage of Prophet Muhammad, and as it relates to the Arabs, right? So the Arabs and the Hebrew Israelites are brothers. The Arabs are my brothers, right? The Arabs are my brothers and sisters, right? Okay, through Prophet Abraham, right? Now, so they wanted to sow discord between the family of Abraham, right? So what did they do? They persecuted the Jews, right, in Germany, right? First they enslaved the Jews and Muslims when they kicked them out of Iberia, and then went to the Muslim countries to hunt them down, right? And to extract them from Alkebulan, right? By way of Columbus, by way of going to India, by way of meeting up with and getting up with those soldiers to to war against the Muslims, right? In the Muslim territories, right? Okay, so now you have them in Iberia, right? And being expelled from Iberia, right? By way of the Muslims and the Jews being expelled from Iberia, right? By way of slave trade, by way of the Western slave institution of slavery. Then you had by way of Columbus and all those others, right? To aid in the extraction of them from Africa. Now they weren't only being extracted from Iberia, but they were, which was Spain, but they were being extracted from the Muslim territories of Alkebulan, right? Ethiopia, Ghana, I think it's Ghana, and other territories where the Jews and the Muslims were. They were extracting them out of those territories and sending them to the what they call the New World, to be enslaved and to be brainwashed, right? And their identities robbed, and so that they could now begin to set up the bastard Christian church, right? And again, not bastard as it relates to cursing them, no, because they curse themselves when they set it up, but bastardized because they culturally usurped Judaism, right? They culturally usurped Judaism, and they did that by extracting of taking out the Muslims and the Jews from Iberia, as well as using Columbus to war against them, and to the what do they call, the colonizers and all this, to extract them out and send them over to the new what they consider to be the new world, which is Turtle Island, to be enslaved and change their name, change their identity, till they become niggers and Negroes, right? A lost people to their own cultural and ancestral and spiritual heritage, to the fact where they don't even know their name, giving them basically amnesia, that to which they were going to pass on to their children. And you think I'm not pissed about that? You just think I'm not? You think many of them are not? And again, they're not going to war. No, hell no. No, 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 no. They're not going to war and kill people and be mad. No, because what did we say in the movie Roots? Not all Europeans were into this. This was not a European thing, especially like places like Ohio. No, the abolitionists, right? And they weren't for that enslavement, of anybody, right? They believed to the tenets of what Christianity was supposed to stand for, but they didn't know the truth of what Christianity was to stand for, and that was Christianity was the great enslaver. Christianity was the slave maker, not only of Europeans, not only of Alkebulan people of Hebrew and Muslim people. No, they were enslavers of Europeans too, right? Many of the wars in European were fought over forcing them to take Christianity. Okay, that's why most wars were fought in Europe, to forcing them to take Christianity. Now, so as we said, so they wanted to extract the institution of slavery was intentionally to extract the Muslims out and the Jews out of Alkebulan so that they could take over those territories. And what did they do? They colonized and they set up Christianity, because they wanted Christianity to become the world religion. And that was the religion of the Antichrist, the fake Christ, the Neanderthal Christ. That was the purpose for slavery, enslaving the Hebrew Israelite and Muslims. And continues to be with the wars, with the Crusades, and the so-called Gulf Wars, War on Terror, all of that is to try to remove the seed of Adam, as well as, first and foremost, the believers, right? Those who believe in Allah. Right? Those who have the seed of, not only those who believe in Allah, but those who claim to be descendants of Prophet Abraham, because then you would have the majority of the world, right? The Jews and the Muslims of the spiritual world, right? Okay, now, back to how they tried to sow division. Okay, we're going to go to video 5.